Good morning, student. Let us start our fifth chapter, that is organizing. After the plans have been drawn, the second important function of management is organizing. And the activities of an enterprise must be organized in such a manner that plans can be successfully implemented. See here the chart given here that shows the contents of this chapter. Let us see how many topics we are going to cover from this chapter. First of all, the meaning of organizing and the steps of organizing that are listed here. In there are 5 steps of organizing, that is division of work, identification and division of work, then departmentalization, assignment of duties, and the fourth step, that is establishing the relationship. So this is our second topic, steps of organizing. Then we will discuss the importance of organizing, why there is an importance of organizing. Here the points are listed. First is that leads to benefits in specialization. Second, clarify in working relationship. Third, optimum utilization of resources. Fourth, adaptation to changes. Fifth, effective administration. Sixth, expansion and growth. And the seventh one, that is development of personnel. So these all are listed under the topic importance of organizing. Then we will discuss the structure, its meaning, and there are 2 types of structure covered in the syllabus. First is the functional structure, its meaning, its advantage, its disadvantage, and second divisional, that is its meaning, advantage and disadvantage. And then we will compare both the structure of organization, functional and divisional. And next topic we will discuss about the types of organization, that covers formal and informal. First of all, its meaning, their features, as well as their advantages and disadvantages. Then we will discuss about the delegation. What do you mean by delegations? And then is absoluteness of accountability, elements and its importance. So there are the various elements of delegations and why delegation is important. That all topic will covered under the under delegation. And then we will discuss one of the principle given by Henry Fayol, that is centralization and decentralization. That meaning is very clear to you. What is the meaning? Once again we will repeat it. And then what are the relations between delegations and decentralization? In many time in the board exam question asked what are the difference between delegations and decentralization. Sometimes these 2 terms looks like same, but there are some differences that we will discuss while we will discuss the topic. Then what are the importance of decentralization? And then is what are the difference between delegations and decentralization, and the difference between centralization and decentralization. So these all are the topic that we are going to cover from this chapter, organizing. So today in this video I will discuss the very first of all the meaning of organizing and the steps of organizing. That let us discuss this. First of all, the meaning, what the organizing means. Organizing can be defined as a process that initiate implementation of plans, and by clarifying the jobs and working relationship and effectively deploying resources for attainment of organizational goals. So organizing, first of all, what organizing do? First, identify the work. What work are to be executed. First of all, identify it and then divide the work according to the skills, competency of the among the employees. Divide the work on the basis of the skills, efficiency, competence of the employee, and then grouping the work. Grouping the work here refers to departmentalizations, and then assignment of duties means according to the requirement of the job, whatever power is required, first of all assign the work and give the as per the demand, as per requirement power to the employee to execute that work. And then establishing the reporting relationship here refers to that who are the boss of whom, who are answerable to whom, and who will give the order to the respective employee. So see, with the help of this definition we can point out the steps. First, identify and then divide the work. Second step, departmentalizations, grouping the jobs in common jobs in one department, in one head, and then assigning the duties to the head of the department, and of course delegating the power also, and then establishing the reporting relationship, that there should be a clear superior subordinate relationship, who are the boss of whom and to whom employee is responsible. So these all are the steps, and let us discuss in detail. First step. First is identifications and division of work. This is the first step in the organizing process, is to identify first and divide the total work to be done in accordance with previously determined plan. As in the plan it is already made what are the things we have to do in future. So for then to execute that plan, we first of all we have to identify that total work are to be done, and then work is divided into manageable activities so that duplication of efforts can be avoided. Means first you make the list of what are the things are to be done, so that the same work may not be repeated or may not be done by the two person. So it should be properly divided, and the burden of work can be shared among the employees. All the total work, first of all you just identify the work and then divide that work among the employees on the basis of skills, competency of the workers. So here for example it is mentioned, in bank the total work is divided into different employees, who will be the cashier, who will deal the public, who will clarify the doubts of the clients. So division of work also promotes specialization, means repeatedly doing a same work that leads to specialize the employee, and the systematic working as each individual is assigned work as per the qualifications and capabilities. So that we have already discussed while we were discussing the principle of management, that division of work leads to specialization. So repeatedly performing leads to specialization. So what are the first step? First step is to identify the work that are to be done, and that work should be divided among the employees as per their skills and qualifications and capabilities. Now move to the second step of organizing, that is departmentation or departmentalization, that is grouping of work. After identifying and division of work, that we have already done the first step, the next step is to group related and similar job under one department. Means purchasing of raw materials, quality based product like sales and advertisement activities are grouped under marketing department. Means such grouping is known as departmentations or departmentalization. It facilitates specialization. Grouping may be done on the basis of either on the basis of functions, purchase department, marketing department, finance department. On the basis of product also departments can be created, like appliances department is a separate department, clothes department, cosmetic department. On the territory basis also departmentations can be done, north department, south department, west department. So there are various way to departmentalize the various activities. And like as it is mentioned here, sales and advertisements all are the activities of marketing. So all these activities are grouped under marketing department. So this, it means ki all individual departments are responsible for the work assigned to them, or any kind of fault or deficiency from individual department, then a particular department is answerable. So this is the way how the work is executed, and one of the step of organizing. So this is our second step, that is departmentalization, means grouping of the work. I think the meaning is clear to you. Now move to the third step of organizing, that is assignment of duties. After grouping various activities into department that we have already discussed, now it is necessary to define the work of different job positions and to allocate work to various employees. And proper post, proper position of is of work of different job positions, who will work at manager post, who will work under assistant manager, under assistant manager how many workers is needed. So each department is placed under the charge of an individual, who will be the head of marketing department, who will be the head of finance department, who will be the head of um, purchase department. So this assignment of duties are done in the third step. Duties can be assigned to the member of each department on the basis of their skills and competencies. So as nowadays a candidate who has done MBA in marketing, of course he will be the head of marketing department. Who have done MBA by finance, so he will be the head of finance department accordingly. And proper match between the nature of job and ability of individual is very important for the effective performance, and the work must be assigned to those who are best fitted to perform. So of course on the basis of capabilities, on the basis of qualifications, interest, a work should be assigned so that he or she can give 100% to the job. So this is what is to be taken care while assigning the duties to the individual. Now move to the our fourth step, and here let's see the example of third step. Here it is mentioned like purchase manager must be assigned duties relating to purchase of raw material. So this comes under the third step that I have already discussed. According to the capabilities, our duty should be assigned to the individual. Now let's move to the fourth step, establishing the reporting relationship. Here reporting here refers to, means there should be a clear cut relationship of superior and subordinate, who are the boss of whom. After assigning the duties, the next step is to clarify, define the authority and responsibility associated with each job. As we have already discussed the principle of management, there should be a authority, proper authority along with responsibility is needed. If suppose responsibility is given but authority is not delivered, then how the work will be executed? So there should be a balance between authority and responsibility. Each individual should know who he has to take order, means who will deliver the order and from whom he is accountable. So this thing should be very clear, and that also explained by scalar chain. Who is the immediate boss and to whom I should be accountable, who will give me the order. So this thing should be known to each employees. It means there is a need to create superior subordinate relationship. So it should be very clear, and then establishment of such clear relationship helps to create a hierarchical structure and help in coordination amongst various departments. So there is a coordination is, as we have already discussed, coordination is the essence of management, and a hierarchical structure helps to create a hierarchical structure. Here refers to scalar chain that we have already explained. Scalar chain, that who is the immediate boss and who under whom is working, everything should be very clear. And it may be laid down that employees involved in production, purchase and stores will take orders from and be accountable to production manager. So there is no work of finance manager to interfere in this department, and every employee under production manager is very clear that I am answerable to production manager, not to the finance manager or marketing manager. So this type of environment is created in the organization, so the work should be done in a smooth manner. So that we have already discussed all four functions. Let me recall, only four steps are followed in organizing process. First is identify the total work is to be done, and then divide the work on the basis of skills and efficiency or competencies of the workers, and then grouping the job under one department, common department, and then assignment of duties, making a head of each department, and he should be answerable, accountable for the work done in each department. And then is establishing the reporting relationship. Each employee should know who is his boss and to whom he is answerable. So this is what the four step covered um, uh, are the steps of organizing. So this topic we have already completed, that is the meaning of organizing, and the second topic, that is process of organizing. Now in the next video I will discuss the importance of organizing. So this is all about this topic. Thank you so much and take care.